Hi, thank you for listening to us, and for the Harvard Innovation Labs for giving us this great opportunity to present to you. We are Healthy Motives, a web app that engineers behavioral change. Unhealthy behavior is costly, with 70% of medical costs in the US economy related to behavior. Smoking, fitness, and medical adherence are all large components of that cost. Smoking costs the United States about $100 million a year. This is doubled once you take into account productivity losses as well. Lack of fitness costs the U.S. economy an order of magnitude more at $15 billion a year. An overweight patient costs $1,200 more each to treat. Medication adherence costs yet another order of magnitude more at $300 billion a year. 20 to 30% of medications are not even filled. And of the 50% that are filled, 50% are not taken as prescribed. Healthy behavior is also hard to maintain. For example, do you recognize the following story of Wanda, especially the ending? Wanda learns from her doctor that her blood pressure is much too high. Motivated by this warning, she sets a New Year's resolution to run 2 miles every Saturday. Excited by her commitment and progress, she runs as scheduled for the first 3 Saturdays. But it rains on the 4th Saturday, so she decides to skip it. And the 5th Saturday rolls around, and she realizes she has picnics with friends. So she skips running again. In the blink of an eye, half a year's passed, and she hasn't run even once more. Anyone who's tried to lose weight or keep a difficult commitment can empathize with Wanda. And the statistics back the anecdote as well. 73% of people who began permanent diet changes in the year 2012 were not able to finish it by the end of that year. Fortunately, behavioral change research has progressed rapidly in the last 2 decades. Using the frontier of psychology, social influence, and behavioral economics, well-designed mechanisms can provably effect real and permanent change. Healthy Motives uses 3 such robust and powerful mechanisms: compelling goals, social support, and economic incentives. Our app currently targets smoking cessation, and we have fitness and medical compliance apps in development as well. Here's our app splash screen, as you can see live on Facebook right now. It looks a little busy. There are quite a few mechanisms at work, but let me break it down for you right now. The first key mechanism that Healthy Motive uses is having compelling goals. So instead of having one large daunting task like quitting smoking altogether, we cut it into many smaller pieces. Don't smoke for just an extra day. These small goals are tracked, recognized, and rewarded almost immediately. Users gain points, level up, and receive encouragement in response to accomplishing these small goals. And having these small, surmountable goals that are rewarded is key for compliance. Further, we leverage emotion and meaning to help users complete their goals. Users enter emotional reasons on our app for why they want to quit. One user here writes, "I want to quit because I'm 44, I have a 1-year-old son and a new baby girl. I want to be a big part of their lives when growing up." We remind users of these emotional reasons daily. When users succeed, we use these goals to cheer them on. When they're about to relapse, we use these goals to remind them why they chose to quit in the first place. These reasons have proven to be powerful. The majority of potential relapsers don't relapse when they're shown these goals. The second key ingredient is leveraging social influence. First, users announce their goals to their friends and supporters. Then, we have supporters write encouraging messages to users when users meet certain benchmarks, providing positive social feedback. Finally, we let users announce to their supporters when they're about to relapse. This creates a very strong incentive not to relapse. Studies show that goals announced to friends have a more than double chance of success. This is a finding that we replicate in our app's live data. Finally, we leverage economic incentives to affect change. One New England Journal of Medicine study shows that financial incentives triple the rate of success in smoking cessation. Supporters can provide incentives. For example, if Terry is a user on our app, Terry's father can provide $20 to Terry when she meets a certain benchmark, like quitting for 100 days. Or users can provide incentives for herself. Terry can put down $50 that's returned to her when she quits for a year. Healthy Motives ties together compelling goals, social support, and economic incentives. These three ingredients together effect change as proven by our live app. Like any web app, or really any business in general, we have risks. The first risk we have is market risk. Will users want to use healthy motives? The second risk we have is sustainability risk. Will revenue streams cover costs and growth? And the third risk we have is efficacy. Will we improve long-term health behavior? Many ideas and theories sound great on paper, but nothing beats validation like using real data. So we address the first two risks, market risk and sustainability, by having a minimally viable product that we've already launched on our finalist prize award. We believe that execution and validation is a particular strength of our team. Take a look here at our graph of live users over time. We have seen viral growth rates post-launch with thousands of users, validating the fact that people do want to use our product, and showing evidence of organic growth, that people using our products like it so much that they recommend it to their friends and their friends use it. Real-world traction provides a strong point of validation for our app. Look here now at our revenue growth rate over time. Too often in the consumer web space, traffic doesn't translate to revenue, and having leads doesn't translate to sales. Therefore, we have a proof of concept that shows that having advertising partners, for example, other quitting tools, can generate real revenue streams of hundreds of dollars already. We have seen RPMs of above $200 and revenue flow rates in the 5 digits yearly. In the future, we plan to have many other revenue channels, and hopefully this will let us exponentially grow the revenue process as well. As a rough log linear projection to the end of the year, even if we have conservatively estimated growth rates, we expect revenue rates of $50,000 per year already, and user rates of 20,000 monthly active users. Maintaining current compliance rates, we expect that we'll get 2,000 Americans to quit smoking on our app. This translates to 10,000 quality-adjusted life years that our app will have saved by the end of this year in smoking cessation alone. So we've taken the rigorous step of checking market and sustainability in the real world. There's still efficacy to check. Ideally, to check efficacy, we would see users join on day 1 and then see what fraction of users stay till day 365 and continue using our app to quit. Unfortunately, we haven't been around for that long, so we can only use suggestive data. So one way we try to test efficacy is by using the best theoretical mechanisms possible. We also talk to researchers in the field to get the best effective practices. The preliminary data on efficacy also looks very promising. Over 20% of users who have ever started quitting using our app have continued quitting. Over the past few months, we've bootstrapped our way to traction and growth. We've recouped our development costs through content advertising, which is currently active. In the future, we also plan to expand into a few other fields. One is premium services, such as on-demand phone support and mobile app sales. A second channel is having patient referrals to clinics and clinical studies. And a third channel is user pledges. Since we've relied on a bootstrapped application, any extra capital that we can have will greatly speed our rate of growth and allow us to access the quitters most in need. We do have competitors in health behavior, but no product can compete with Healthy Motives in its rigor and potential for scale. Many free web apps exist. For example, MyFitnessPal, Runkeeper, Quit Smoking App, and DietBet. However, their approach to behavioral modification is non-scientific. They either have poor user experience or they focus on a single behavioral problem, for example, counting calories. Other effective treatments exist, like Nicorette or GlowCap, and they do work well, but they don't serve the free self-help market, and they don't leverage any social mechanisms, which we've shown before is just so important. Only Healthy Motives uses the best practices in behavioral science and has the potential to scale for a broad impact amongst a variety of fields. Our team has an excellent track record in the consumer web, entrepreneurship, and medicine space. Alan, the product leader and CEO, has founded 3 companies, each with over 6 digits of revenue in the past. I, Fan, have a long history in entrepreneurship, having received funding from Y Combinator and other venture capital firms in the past. Ashwin has led clinical trials and is an expert at connecting our product with clinics. Dafong has patented many medical devices and connects our app with the industry. Our background experience positions us to engage Healthy Motives as an important consumer app and lets us build key clinical and industry bridges to make it have the large impact that we need to see. We have a long-term plan to keep us on track and expanding. Al and I are entering the startup space full-time this summer. By the end of this year, we plan to have smart A/B tests to optimize retention, virality, and revenue. This will bring us to sustainability and maximal efficacy. In 2014, with our app improved, we'll expand into distributional channels through web marketing and partnering with organizations and clinics. We'll also develop a mobile app. In 2015, we'll expand our app to other health behaviors. With proven traction and efficacy in smoking cessation, we'll partner with health programs like Weight Watchers and clinical smoking cessation programs to complement their approaches. In 2016, with a strong brand and user traction, we'll begin to expand into consumer health products and bring our impact off the web as well. We're on track to becoming profitable in 2014, and we will continue to grow in revenue. By first validating in the smoking space, we can be sure that our product works optimally when we hit significantly larger markets, like fitness and medication adherence that we mentioned at the beginning. To conclude, Healthy Motives is attacking health problems worth billions of dollars with a team experienced in profitable businesses. Our plan is flexible and has already seen validation in users and revenue, which we believe is a special strength of our team. The current revenues also suggest that we can be sustainable financially, especially after our next round of financing. Finally, we believe that the best way to minimize risk and maximize rewards is to launch quick and optimize based on real market data, which our product is already doing. Thank you again for your time in listening to us. We are Healthy Motives, a web app that engineers behavioral change.